Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another watch list. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in, that maybe you're interested in, are coming out. Like always, in the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available to anything that I bring up during this watch list. On May 2nd, on Netflix, we have a new limited series called A Man in Full. Essentially, Jeff Daniels is playing this really big-time real estate agent that's being investigated for, I think, like a whole bunch of like kind of white collar crimes or something, and it's about him trying to defend himself. He's got lawyers helping him, but like they're people, I don't know whether they're like lawyers themselves or like whether they're just investigated, I don't know, but like they're trying to take him down. And so it seems like it's just a straight up drama, but like based on a trailer there does seem to be comedic bits, so I don't know if it'll be classified as like a comedy drama or would it be like kind of a dark comedy. I don't know, but it seemed really interesting. On May 8th on Sci-Fi, we had the second season of Reginald the Vampire, which I'm very excited about. I actually don't quite remember where season 1 left off. I think that's kind of fine, but I want to say like a lot of stuff got resolved, so I'm not quite sure what to make of or what to expect from season 2. Once again, just because I don't remember as well. But also I didn't watch the trailer because I was like, I want to go into the season knowing probably as little as possible. So I'm excited to see what other adventures Reginald gets up to this season, as well as like, because he has a pretty nice like cast of characters around him, so I'm curious to see where a lot of those stories, because there's certain elements that were introduced last season that I'm kind of remembering like we never got full resolution on certain storylines, so maybe kind of expand upon some of that in season 2. On May 9th on Netflix, we had this new series called Bodkin, basically, or Bodkin, I'm probably like butchering the pronunciation, but essentially there are 3 true crime podcasters, or at least I think there's 2 true crime podcasters who's working with someone else. I don't remember how the delineation works, but basically they're in Ireland investigating some disappearances, and it says like based on a true story, but it does have an asterisk beside it. But it seems like it's a comedy drama, so it seems like a fun time based on what we saw from the trailer. It's a kind of a small town unraveling some mysteries of like, yeah, there's some stuff that should stay buried, but you're unearthing some stuff you shouldn't, and you don't know what you're doing. So just seems like a lot of fun, but also kind of seems like, oh, there's going to be some interesting developments. On May 10th on Disney Plus, at least here in the US, I don't know internationally, but we have the 14th season of Doctor Who, or 14th series, but also it's kind of being labeled as Series 1. This is our latest Doctor, like his first full season. Obviously, we spent more time with the latest Doctor. What is shooting now? He's like, what, the 15th Doctor? Like, I think he's technically the 15th. There's so many technicalities because there's such an asterisk beside that number now because of just Doctor Who shenanigans. But this is going to be his first full series as the Doctor. Obviously, we got introduced to Ruby, his companion, in the Christmas special, and obviously we kind of learned a little bit. There was an element about her story that did not have a resolution in the Christmas special, so I'm sure like that's going to be an overarching story. On May 12th on AMC, we have season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. Very, very excited about this. I avoided watching the trailer. I remember bits and pieces of some of the stuff we got last season, but I definitely am going to have to go and kind of recap and refresh my memory about a lot of stuff. But there's some interesting reveals at the end of season 1. I talked about this previously. I've never read the books because I know like there's multiple books that are kind of connected, not just with Interview with the Vampire, like there are other books connected to that, but also I've seen bits and pieces of the movie, but obviously the show's following suit in that story, but also kind of doing its own thing in a lot of ways. But once again, didn't see the trailer, but I'm still very excited to see where season 2 takes us. On May 16th on Prime Video, we have season 2 of Outer Range. Very, very excited. Another show I avoided watching the trailer because I want to go in knowing as little as possible. I kind of remember quite a bit of where the family circumstances were. I remember like the reveal at the very, very end of the season, and I'm really curious to see how that plays out. That seems very time paradoxy in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of time travel shenanigans because there's so much we still don't know about everything that's going on. But like I said, another thing I'm going to have to like refresh my memory on. I remember some bits of season 1, but not a lot. I'm also curious about the release schedule. I didn't look this up ahead of time, but I'm curious how they're going to do what they did with season 1. I think, if I remember correctly, it was like 2 episodes a week, so I'm curious to see if they're going to have that same release schedule this time or not. On May 17th on Netflix, we have this new South Korean series called The 8 Show. I think at the time of recording this, there's only a teaser trailer out, but it seems like the premise is like basically 8 people, or it's almost like a game show, almost Truman Show-esque, I think, in some capacities, but basically these people are contestants in a building, and they basically have to stay there. I don't know, like, I don't, the trailer doesn't give you enough about the rules of it, but the longer they're in there, the more time they pass, is like the more money they're making. So it's like, obviously, I think it's probably scratching a little bit, not a lot. Like, I'm not trying to completely equate them, but I think it's probably scratching a little bit of that Squid Game itch. So it seems interesting how this all plays out. Like, finding out the rules and the stipulation for this is going to be interesting. On May 23rd on Paramount Plus, we had the 4th and final season of Evil, which I'm so excited about. Another thing I'm gonna have to go back to, I remember some of the stuff with Kristen, like her circumstances where season 3 left off, but I don't fully remember other stuff where we left off with some of the other characters. Maybe Andy. I think I remember Andy's circumstances, which were pretty wild, but everyone else's is still kind of a little ethereal in my head of like what that is, what their circumstances were. But I mean, obviously, like, this is that last rodeo, so I'm curious to see what plays out. I mean, I could easily see this show kind of having a very ambiguous ending, just the nature of what the show is. Maybe it'll have a clear-cut ending, maybe it won't be a depressing ending, maybe it'll be a more uplifting ending, but I could see this being like ambiguous or depressing. Well, it's gonna be interesting to see. Ultimately, that brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe I wasn't aware of, that you're aware of, that you think maybe me or someone else would be interested in, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good